Um, um, I am glad that you can make it. Welcome back to Dan Studios. Okay, what's up, guys? I was just messing. So sometimes I gotta meditate. Meditation is very important. Um, First of all, I want to say thank you guys for the support. We've been growing a lot. I've been making my content better. It's only gonna continue to go up from here. So let's keep on liking, keep on commenting, keep on watching, and I'll keep on producing some amazing content for you. Welcome. I hope you're having a good day. Today's video, we're gonna talk about some very important stuff. We're gonna talk about some of my beliefs, some of my things that I practice in my life to make sure that I'm heading in the right direction. And I want to share some of these things with you. First of all, everything starts with mentality, right? Everything starts with how do you think about things. So what I mean by this is that you need to realize that, but your whole reality is based on your mindset. A majority of it is based on your mindset. The rest of it is based on actions, right? And sometimes you feel stuck. It's because your mind feels stuck first. Like, I'm a big believer in psychology and really like how we can work ourselves. We can trap our mind, and then our minds really reflect our realities. I'm really talking about just focusing on your thoughts. Your thoughts really do create your environment, and I'm pretty sure you guys heard this before. My first thing that I started to do, which made me see a lot of results in my life, is that when I was growing up, I've always like seen people like ask for stuff, right? And when I say ask for stuff, I mean like when you pray, or I think more people ask for things than they really give thanks for. So instead of like asking, I just stopped asking for anything. So like I used to ask for like, I wish I could I want to like graduate college. I want to like have all this money. I want to have like buy whatever I want. Like, I'm not saying like it's not good to want things. Of course, everybody wants things, but I think if you change your mindset of actually taking and start to just like appreciate what you have already, that's where you start to see things change. So for me, instead of asking, every single day I wake up, I always thank for what I have. Like every single thing I have around me, I'm saying I thank you for where I live. I thank you for the independence. I thank you for simple things like air to breathe and health. Like even the simple things, and I work my way up. And so as soon as every single day I started to thank for what I have and just appreciate what I have. Like even though I wanted more, I just took a second to just appreciate what I have. Things started changing for me. Now obviously like this is not gonna work for everyone, right? But I think if you start to switch your mindsets and change up the way you think, you will start to see some results in your life. Like I said, I'm not a person that is gonna give you like, what do you call it? I'm not a motivational speaker, and I'm not one of these salesmen that's trying to like teach you how to become rich or anything. I'm just trying to tell you that if you want to change, like the first thing you need to do is change the way you think about things in your mindset. Another thing is like people always ask me like, Daniel, why are you always positive and how are you always positive? If you don't know me, like I am really positive like 100% of the time. Like if you ever see me not positive, it's only for a second and I switch back. The reason why that is because like it's like I said, mindset. I start by always thanking. That's all I do is I thank for what I have, and then when I thank for what I have, it basically puts me in a situation where I'll be like, okay, like I have to be positive because I have stuff to be thankful for. Everyone has something to be thankful for. You know what I mean? So just start with that, and then you will see results. And so that's one of the keys to my success. Like once I started to thank for everything, basically I started to see I started to achieve more. So like anything I wanted to do, I basically achieved it. Now I really understood that a lot of stuff that I wanted to achieve it was gonna take hard work. It was gonna take things that I didn't want to do. It was not gonna be like, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be in the movies where everything's gonna be perfect all the time. There was a lot of like rocky hills that I had to climb, and basically, like, I knew that going into it. And if you know that going into it, you kind of prepare yourself, and you can actually just, like, mentally know, like, okay, this is going to be hard, but that hard work, that grind, that's something that you have to want. Because if you don't like hard work and grind, you're probably not going to be at the top. But me, I like challenges. I like hard work. I like grind. That's one of the reasons why I started this channel. Is because I knew that every single content I put out, the next week, it's going to be better. It's going to be more interesting. It's going to be different, right? So, like, I'm actually, like, competing with myself. I don't even look at what other people are doing. I'm really just focused on, like, how do I improve myself. And it's like a lot of returns. The more you put in, more time you put into something, if you keep on getting small, if you get better, like, slowly, yeah, eventually it's gonna be at a point where you'll be like, dang, like, now I'm, like, super advanced, and now I know it. You know what I mean? So that's really, like, the two things that really, like, got me started to my path to, like, be successful. Now let's talk about what success means to me for a minute. Success is really just about your happiness. Like, it has nothing to do with your money. As long as you're in a place where you are happy, and I'm talking about, like, real happiness. I'm not talking about temporary happiness. Like, for example, like, every day I wake up, every day I go to sleep, I'm happy. That to me is like, okay, like, I'm successful, because there was a point where there was things that I felt like I didn't accomplish. There was things that were lacking and missing in my life. But once you get to a point where, like, you know, I'm content and I'm happy with the way things are, that to me is what success is. It's not about becoming rich. Like, being rich is not for everyone. Like, you know what I mean? Capitalism tries to sell it to you like, oh, like, being wealthy and having a lot of money is, like, for everyone. It's not. Like, not everyone can handle what that comes with. And also, it's not gonna, like, it actually can ruin your life. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys heard this many times. The goal is not to be rich, right? The goal is to make sure that we take care of our responsibilities, that we're financially independent. That has nothing to do with making $1 million. Like, money is a thing that changes so much. So you can't put a number on what wealth is. Like, it's funny, like, I think Bob Marley once said it. Wealth is not materials or, like, a monetary value. It's really about, like, what you have that's intangible. So, like, love, friendship, you know what I mean? These types of things, that's what makes you wealthy. Knowledge is wealth. Like, if you go to college and you got a degree and you actually know a lot of information and you can share those things, that's wealth. Like, I'd rather hire someone, I'd rather, like, be friends with someone who is super, super knowledgeable that can teach me things than someone who can give me things. You know what I mean? That is something that's super, like, invaluable, like, having someone to teach. And really, that's really how you become, that's where you go where you want to be, is because you learn from others. Another thing, speaking about learning, is that every single day for, like, 5 years, ever since I graduated college, I've always made it a goal to learn something new. Like, literally, like, I am very curious. I watch documentaries. I will research things. I'm very fascinated about how the world works, and I'm very fascinated about telling stories and hearing stories. That's why I started a YouTube channel, because I just like talking about stories and really just, like, hearing from, you know what I mean, other people. So learning is a skill that is not like it should go away, right? Like, a lot of times, like, we're forced to think like learning is, we have to be forced to learn. But you don't realize that learning is not sitting in a classroom reading a book or taking a test. Learning is simply observing, right? Observing, absorbing knowledge, and really just remembering the knowledge. And if you want to share, that's great. But not all the times you're going to be ready to share the knowledge. So now you have the keys to how to really start to change the trajectory of the way things are going. I remember, like, I always look back at it. Not too long ago, I was literally, like, I remember I was in college and I had no money in my name. Like, the way that I was raised is always you have to work hard for things. And I'm very thankful for that, and the way that my parents raised me. Is I've never been handed anything. Like, people always talk about, oh, I had allowance. I'm like, what allowance? Like, I never had allowance. Like, if I got an allowance, it was because it was like a holiday. You know what I mean? It was like a special day, like my birthday. But there was never such thing as, like, you're going to be handed money every single week or every month. I had to work for it. That made me have that type of fire and grind. So I knew, like, if I needed something, if I wanted something, I'm going to have to work for it. Like, just like when humans first reached this earth, like, everybody had a role. And I think that's the problem with our society today. It's like a lot of times we want to take away the roles and make life easy. Life is not meant to be easy. Once you once life is too easy, I think it becomes less interesting, right? And so if you have life too easy, it's like no one wants to work hard for anything. But the people at the top, I promise you that a majority of them put in the work. I'm not gonna lie, some people cheat for it, and some people like it's because they have good families or whatever. But majority of people, if you really get to the bottom of it, they actually put in the time, the work. They have a mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna achieve something, I'm gonna win. Same thing that I win. Like anything I do, I always put in 100% of my time. If I don't see any results, then I quit. Like people always say like you should never give up, you should never quit. Now you should quit. If you don't see the results that you want to, you should definitely quit. Right? Like just give up. So my thing is like when I was growing up, these are things that I had to learn on my own because even when I was like I would say 5 years old, I've always listened to like older people. Like I didn't really listen to a lot of young people. I've always just hanged around a lot of older people and just observe the way they talk and observe like their experiences and knowledge like in the background. Like they didn't even know I was around. I was just always around them and they would have like these conversations, and I think that's why I've always like had this type of wisdom even when I was in high school. Like I didn't really do a lot of the things that would just seem like kid things to do. I was more interested in just like building like my knowledge and kind of like I don't know, just like I was expanding like my knowledge of the world because I do feel like there's a lot to learn, and nowadays I feel like there's way more distractions. So you can get distracted easily and forget that, but realize that this world is big and there's a lot for you to take away from it. If you're content, that is fine too. Like I don't really say, oh, if you don't want to do anything like super like what do you call it? If you don't want to be successful, that is okay as long as that you have, as long as you're happy with that. Like I'm not gonna force anyone to be like, oh, why are you lazy? Like you have the right to be lazy. You know what I mean? And also like not everyone has the same timing. Some people they really get it like when they're older, and they're gonna be lazy until they're like 28. They're gonna be lazy until they're 40, and then they'll become like super grinders later in life. Like everyone has different timing. So like I never believed in people be like, oh well, you can't be lazy now. Like it's okay. Like everyone should be different. That's what makes the world interesting. But I'm gonna give you guys that advice for now, and then I'm gonna come back with another video and then give you guys more. Like I said, like I like to break these apart to have you absorb what I'm saying, and also I do think that these conversations can go further, and I want you guys to have a great day, stay safe, and my videos coming up, they're gonna be very wild and very fun. You guys been showing me a lot of support. I appreciate it, I really do, and take care. I'll see you in the next video.